speaking of another Paper City Studios artist, or at least affiliate, if you will, and the man Robby Malic, who just dropped his debut project, Who Is Robby Malic? So another one that you guys should totally check out, especially if you like this song. And the song that we're gonna review on today's episode is gonna be his lead single to this album, which was All My Life.
Yeah, remember when they used to say, I'll never be a star. Now I let it ring every time they wanna call. Don't care what you think about who you are. This is what it is. I don't care about what it was.
So I guess we'll start this song with you. What are your thoughts on All My Life?
Banger.
It's a tight song.
And it's not like a banger, like, play this at like the club where everybody's trying to, shake it and go crazy. But it's a banger when you're in the car alone. A banger when you're in the car maybe with a significant other. A banger in the car maybe when you're missing a significant other. It's a banger in the car when you have no significant other. It's tough, man. And so definitely, it's shout out to Robby Malic. Definitely go check out Who's Robby Malic, the album. This, like Mike said, this is the lead single to it, and the project from top to bottom is stacked, man. And Robby, we were talking about Ish with a polished sound. Robby's definitely another person in the area in Western Mass that has a very, very polished sound, and Homeboy has only been cultivating it for like a year max. You know what I mean? He's kind of just been making his debut on the scene in general, and he's already jumped to like a debut album that sounds like very, very professional. I know him, and again, shout out to Jonas. Him and Jonas worked in tandem to get this thing together, and they definitely put a lot of care into it. And I think every track shows that, and including the All My Life thing. The All My Life banger. Robby has a real laid back kind of delivery on the track, and it starts off laid back, and I think that really sets the tone also for the rest of the track, like especially when you hear his voice really clearly before a lot of the drums come in. And I think it starts off kind of his the storytelling of it, kind of, you know what I mean? Like I said, a lot of it are some smooth kind of flexes about whether it's girls he's had before or women he's still involved with. And then a lot of it is also some like reflective, like, damn, look how, and again, it feels very authentic, just me knowing him personally. He talks about, how like his music and just him pursuing this in the past couple months or close to a year has already shifted the world around him. You know what I mean? People are looking at him differently. He has certain friends that maybe he doesn't trust. But it's all of it is like all of it is very vivid to me, I think, with Robby's lyricism, and that's what makes him really, really special. And then aside from that, I think the beat he chose is super fire. Has these little afro kind of dance hall drums, but a real dope laid back, like the SZA sample in the background just sitting in the cut is so fire. And I think like it's perfect because the song doesn't have a feature, but it almost has that feature because I think SZA's voice is obviously very distinguishable. But it's so faint, and it's just there for the melody in the back that I think it really helps Robby shine, but also makes the track more dynamic in the sense that you're hearing somebody else's voice faintly, and I think it I think it complements Robby's voice well. I think also Robby has an amazing ability to kind of have that laid back delivery, and it's kind of similar like we were talking about with Jonas, but I think he has some ability where I think also it's the lyricism itself being so good that it's very vivid and creates an emotional response, and also just the content of it is backs up the delivery, or it kind of calls for that delivery well. Like I don't know if that's the best way to even articulate it, man, but it's tough. You know what I mean? This song is tough to me. I think it's kind of emotional, but also braggadocious a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got both of those elements to it.
Yeah. So, and I thought it was a really good. I think this is a really good sum up of Robbie's style too, and it was a perfect lead up for Who's Robby Malic, which is also a great album title, honestly. But yeah, I'm interested in what you thought.
Definitely. So I will say this. First of all, I think his voice is very unique, and that is one of the highlights for him just as an artist. Where if I heard his voice, I think would be very recognizable. And our producer Sam, so shout out Sam, who obviously, as you guys are watching this, listening to this, did all the production work. So big shout out to him. But there's a friend of his who ended up reaching out to him when I featured this song for a New Music Friday. And a friend must have come across the page and heard the song and hit up Sam and said, "Yo, I found this from Scarfo's. That's my last name if anyone didn't know that. From Scarfo's podcast, like or page, like the song's a banger. So even people that are unbiased that don't even know him are coming out and hearing this stuff. So and listening to it. I don't think he has quite the attention that like nationally that Ish has at this point, but I think the potential is just as much there as it is with Ish and with Robbie in many different ways, because they have, I think, a very different style and a different delivery with their vocals. And I think that's what makes Robbie so unique in that aspect. And
what's
I
crazy,
love
sorry, I'm so sorry to cut you off. What's ridiculous is I also know that Robbie and Ish have something in the vault together.
Ooh.
Robbie and Ish, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. He tweeted about it too, but I'm gonna leave it at that. And it's tough. It's an amazing combination and like tag team from some of the most I think promising artists we got out here. But carry on.
For sure. And I'll definitely agree to your point as well. I love the dance hall reggaeton sounding beat. Almost very tropical sounding and atmospheric. But it has like still rooted in like almost like a lo-fi, vibe to it. And I really love the aesthetic. And I think I agree with you perfectly. I think that drowned out SZA vocal sample, where if you really listen close, you can hear it. You might not on the first listen, but if you really listen closely, like a couple listens, it'll start to, I think, push itself a little bit to the forefront. Or enough that like it actually adds something, right? It's not like really deeply embedded here. So I think Jonas did a nice job with the mix on that. And now having heard the full album, I will say this, I don't think this is actually my favorite song, which actually would be a testament to the project as a whole, that this isn't even my favorite song from the project. So I really urge people to go check out the project. It's 10 songs. I believe it's barely a half an hour, 29 minutes. So again, the runtime is there, like, in terms of accessibility. It's not super long. It's not going to drag you down. It's going to definitely leave you wanting more for sure.
Definitely.
Probably my favorite song on that's Too Long, but I definitely want to people check it.
Too Long is great. Yo,
So
even
good.
The intro, man. The
intro is great too.
I love the
Everything.
intro. It's great.
I love this. Yeah, the project itself is really good. But back to All My Life, of course. It's got a nice relaxing vibe to it. But I definitely and his delivery as well. This is, I think, a moment where I'm going to almost be contradictory here. I think his more laid back delivery actually works super well on a song like this, because it's almost like he's flowing so well, but it's almost like he's whispering it. You know what I mean? So you have to his delivery is whisper, so you really have to really hear it, but it doesn't come off as very aggressive or anything like that. And of course, I just really enjoy as well, like a lot of like the lyricism here, where he's talking about people kind of doubting him and like his come up trying to prove people wrong and wanting this for his whole life and things like that. I love the line where he says, when the grass looked greener, you was on the other side, and I never picked sides.
The grass looked greener, you was on the other side.
But I never picked sides.
Never picked sides. Yeah. No, that's tough, bro.
And I will say one more thing about Jonas and his production and the way there's a couple of parts right before the hook where he has like a little bit of an instrumental break, and Robbie is really pushed to the forefront in the vocals. That is what I think that was a really cool effect from Jonas, like doing that, like really pushing the beat back a little bit, like really into the background, and having Robbie be more like in the bridge, more of the front and center. So I really liked the way that, and just again, not to go back to Jonas continuously, but like a testament to his way of like mixing and engineering this whole song. So I really thoroughly like this song too. I think it's only going to get more replayability from people as the summer months come along, because I think it has that type of just accessibility to the summer and the summer sort of just tones and things like that. So
No, this is
that's
summertime music for sure. It is summertime music 1,000%.
Yeah. So I highly recommend this one as well. I don't want to sound too much like a broken record, but the last 3 songs I think I would recommend as very much so. And this Who's Robby Malic project, you guys definitely got to check it out. So again, linked in the description. But
yeah.
And
this also wraps up nicely. It's you guys gotta, I'll stop mentioning Paper City Studios after this. These are all Paper City affiliates or artists, and I'm very, very excited for what we got going on, because I definitely think we got a lot of different people in our bag, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of different styles, so very excited, very proud of Robby too. Like we've said continuously, go check out the rest of the album
for sure.
And shout out to him, man, because he's also worked hard to supplement like all his music with visuals and other things, and there's more visuals to come, so it's gonna be just interesting and just entertaining to even watch him continue.
Definitely, and I've heard some of the stuff that's in the vault as well, and I will agree that it is really good stuff, guys. So definitely make sure you tune back in and follow all these guys on Instagram, keep up with their stuff, and definitely make sure that you're tuned into upcoming releases, because there's definitely great things to come.